Okay guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to set up a free marketing agency website. Now this website we've been giving as a bonus for people who purchase Local Sites Go, which is a volume of local niche themes. Okay, the front end costs about $20, the OTO1 costs about $20, and if people purchase both the front end and the OTO1 using my link, we were giving them access to this marketing agency website. Okay, now what's good about this marketing agency website is that everything is preloaded. You can see here the services are preloaded. If we go into a couple of these services in here, scroll down, you can see all of that is preloaded. Everything is done for you. Now we tried to do something like this last year as part of it. I was going to do as part of the course. It was taking forever. We were just not making progress. We wanted to change things, and because it was just like part of a course and it wasn't really like a proper agency, you know, it became a real issue, a real problem to try and get stuff done when we had some other stuff to do with the softwares and training and stuff like that, and it never got properly done. Now I have this, I can set this up nicely. I can set this up properly in basically 3 clicks. And for what it's taking us weeks to do before, with a lot of frustration, this is just all done for you. It's just so much easier to work with. Okay, Local Sites Go got a whole bunch of different templates and themes that look like this. You can see it's very, very nicely done, and the best part is it's all done with Elementor plugin, which is a free plugin. So if you want to edit, change, add anything, you can do that. You can see it's got nice animations, and here you can customize your own details, etc. as well. So it saves a ton of time. Even better is that we deployed the site with WordPress Alpha, because I've made this into a template for people who purchase Local Site Go from my link. Okay, so you can deploy the site in 3 clicks. Okay, the first click in WordPress Alpha is going to deploy this template with pre-configured plugins. Okay, I've pre-configured plugins for SEO, for GDPR, for site speed, and a whole bunch of other things. Okay, there's a whole bunch of set of plugins in there already pre-configured for you, so it's saving you time with that as well. Not just the design, but actual configurations of the plugins. Sometimes you will see some launches and plugins that tell you this is how you set up your site quickly, buy this plugin. All they're doing is installing a whole bunch of different plugins for you. They're not configuring them for you. With WordPress Alpha, we actually configure. We're giving you a template with the plugins actually already configured. I mean, you can imagine how much time that saves. It saves a huge amount of time. Okay, so your SEO settings are already done. Okay, that you can just go ahead and start to customize your domain, your title, your metadata and stuff like that, and start adding your content. Okay, so anyway, this nice template is already, we've got a whole bunch of services. You can see Facebook services here that we looked at. We've even got the pricing tables. You just add in your own PayPal details in here. AdWords, again, you can do that as well. You add in your details in there, and you know, you can get someone else to do these services for you. Okay, I'll ask Ruben actually if he can give us something that we can add into the thank you page for the bonuses. But if you're buying Local Sites Go, you're going to be in touch with Ruben anyway if you join his Facebook group, and he will probably be able to help you and tell you where you can get these kinds of services from to resell. Okay, so let's have a look at another one of his templates. This is a typical kind of Local Sites Go theme and template. You can see this is a nice landing page. It's got a nice opt-in form here. It's got some call to action at the top, telephone numbers, Google reviews, and again, really nicely done. Save you a whole bunch of time. You need to fill in the details here. I've actually got a domain where I did fill in the details, but I keep forgetting to go back there and copy that template into this one, because that one's already pre-configured. I've already done all the text in it, but I keep forgetting. So you can see here, you know, once you've done that once, you can do that many times. If you want to, you can use the same information between different sites, etc. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to deploy this into WordPress Alpha. Now in WordPress Alpha, if I come over here, what you need to do is we will give you a license key, and the license key, once you've registered for WordPress Alpha, you just register, I think there's an opt-in before you register. You have to opt in so that we can give you updates. Okay, once you've opted in and confirmed your email address, we will send you the link to go and register. Okay, when you go and register, we will redirect you into this dashboard here. Okay, we have given you a license key. If you purchase local sites, go to the front end and the OTO one from my link, you will have been given a license key. You will come over here into the left hand side and you will click on license. Now if you've already got a WordPress Alpha account, you don't need to create another one. Just come in here and add this as an extra license. Okay, when you're adding your license, it's not going to ask for anything else. It's not going to give you a checkbox saying what kind of license, what product is it for. Just add the license key in. Okay, when you save the license key, it's going to tell you exactly what that license key is for. Okay, it will tell you marketing agency, one domain license. Simple as that. Okay, so now that we've got all that out of the way, once we have done that, what we can do is we can come over here and we're going to choose one site, one host. This requires an account with DigitalOcean. Okay, we will be adding some other hosting. We have tried to add Contabo last week. It didn't quite manage to pull that off the way I wanted. So I've asked them to, use another reseller account provider, something like a HostGator or a Bluehost or a Namecheap, WHM, where we can let you use your own accounts. Okay. So that will probably come in a week, maybe 2 weeks. Okay, and I'm sorry for delay for people who've been waiting. It's frustrating, I know. It just, one of those things. We did try to add to Contabo, but he could only do it with my own server details, and that could only allow up to 250 cPanels, which is not enough for a sort of membership app like this. Okay, when we've got hundreds of members coming in. Okay, so anyway, if you're choosing here one host, one site, that's going to deploy what they call a droplet within DigitalOcean. Okay, you need a DigitalOcean account. Okay, you need to have a DigitalOcean account. You click on here, new, it will open up this here. This droplet or server that is going to deploy it is going to cost you $5 per month. If you want to wait until we get the other hosting, feel free to wait and hit me up in a week if you haven't had anything. Okay. And every time I speak to my coder, I always bring it up. When are we getting the other hosting? It's always in that conversation every single time. So it's coming soon, because there's only so much people can take when you put that kind of pressure on them. So he knows that he needs to get past the issues. He's got to get past with some technical issues, bug fixes, and some other tools, so that he can get to that and get it in there as quickly as possible. Anyway, here what you will see is when you add in your domain here that we're going to deploy, we can choose from the drop down here what kind of site we want to deploy. You must choose marketing agency site. This is what your license will cover. It will not allow you to deploy any of these other types of sites. Okay, you need specific licenses for each type in here. So we're going to choose marketing agency site, and we can choose a server location. So choose the one that's nearest to you, okay, if that's what you want, or the one that you're targeting. Okay, in my case, I probably want to do something in America, and I like New York, so I'm going to choose New York. Okay, now another thing is, in this section up here where we put the domain name in, you might want to choose whether you want to put the www or not. This is where you would choose to put it, okay, in this field. Now I've got this domain here, adsmania.org. If I come back over to adsmania.org, and here you can see it's on a Namecheap hosting. There's no site on there right now. And when we come into the Certworks, which is a Chrome extension, it's a monthly recurring cost, this Chrome extension. It's not mine. I'm not plugging it. I haven't got an affiliate link for it or anything like that. But it's a great little tool that I like to use for, especially for building PBNs and picking up expired domains and stuff like that. And what you can see here is that this particular domain has actually got 1,000 backlinks, okay, from 118 domains. So the referring domains is more than 10% of the total links. That is a good ratio to me. Anything above 10% is very, very good. Okay. Spam score is 0. Domain authority 13. Page authority 16. When we look at the trust score, because there's been no content on here for about a year since I've had it, it's actually due a renewal actually very, very soon. I need to renew this one, and there's been no content on it. I think I did some traffic scout campaign once before, and I deleted that site, so it's been sat there dormant for about a year. So the trust was not showing anything. Okay, and the links to the home page. You can see here's 176. Now if I come into Moz and I click on links to the home page, Moz is finding a lot more links for some reason. See, they can find one for the inbound links is 1,017 links coming from 759. From 759 do follow links, that is, from that 1017. Moz, with the latest update, since they sort of got rid of the Open Site Explorer and did a sort of major upgrade in their backlinking stuff, it's much better these days. It's much better. I actually rate it higher than Majestic at the moment, and this is what I like to use for the expired domain stuff, because it gives me a whole bunch of information that Majestic does not. Okay. Majestic will, once you start to put content, you start to re-index your sites, etc, etc. Okay, so what I wanted to show you this for is that when you have got an expired domain, okay, let me give you an example. If I come over into Spamzilla, this is where I like to get my expired domains, find my expired domains. Okay, what I do is I put in a keyword in here that is relevant. Okay, so you can see here I've got marketing. Okay, I've done my search for marketing. I've sorted it by the amount of backlinks. Okay, now you can see here it's got some trust flow, it's got some citation flow information. It's also got some Moz information as well. Okay, and what you can see, Moz domain authority here for this one is 21. That's quite a good site. Page authority 32. But when it comes to the Majestic, the citation flow seems high, but the trust flow is low, probably because it's a, an expired domain. Once you start to add some content, it will come up. Okay, so in here, what I like to do is sort it by the backlinks. Okay, now there's two things I want you to pay attention to here. Okay, here is the amount of referring domains. Have a look at the amount of referring domains. This to me is crucially important. Okay, in ratio to the amount of backlinks. For example, this 527 from 71,000, that's not even 10%. Okay, so it's going to be kind of hard to find like for 10%, but you can get close to it. Even above 5% is okay. And this one, as we come down here, marketing your website.com, it's got 1,000 referring domains coming from 24,000 backlinks. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm just going to have scroll down, and what we're looking for is the ones that's expired. Okay, when it's got this little sort of clock icon here. Okay, and sort of three things I want to look for. Okay, the first one, if we scroll down in the SZ score, this is Spamzilla score, you can see this one here is clean 25. Spamzilla have got their own algorithms for looking for clean filtered domains that are good to use, and you can see this one, search marketing call. It looks quite good because Spamzilla have filtered it and says it's clean, but it's only got 325 referring domains for 21,000 backlinks. It's not terrible. Okay, could be very good. And when we look at the Moz details, the page authority is 31. Okay, the domain authority is 19. It's not bad. I wouldn't have a problem to buy it. Okay, but you can probably find better. As you scroll up, you will see some of these don't have any sort of scores in here, and you will see those that have got sort of bad words like porn or AVI or free download, those kind of keywords in the anchor text, which it basically is saying it's filtered these out to be dodgy. Okay, but as we scroll up a little bit more and we start to look for more referring domains, we can start to find some options in here that might be pretty good. Okay, this one here, marketing your website, 1,000 referring domains. This one here, 816. And what we're looking for is just the ones that's expired over here, and maybe you can find one. So that's what you should be looking for. Okay, and you can even find some of that indexed already. This one here, marketing your website, this one seems actually quite reasonable, except for it doesn't have any Moz information here. Okay, but it's got like 670 pages indexed. Okay, anyway, that's where you can get your expired domain, spamzilla.io. It's a monthly recurring, but I think you can, I'm not sure, I think you can just take like 1 month and get what you want. You might even be able to take a trial. I'm not sure if you can take a trial. Have a look at Spamzilla, and when you find your domain, what we can do is you can put this into Moz, or you can put this into I'm just going to do this in Setworks. You can probably do this within Spamzilla as well. You can put this into any of those kind of Ahrefs, Moz, Majestic, etc. When I click on this, okay, that little red icon, it takes me into the expire check. Okay, so when I'm in this expire check, now we can see some information here from Setworks, and it's giving us information for Majestic, and Majestic is actually quite good for this one considering it's an expired domain, and this one here for Moz, etc. Okay, now when we're adding a site into WordPress Alpha, we want to decide whether we want to use this www or not. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to compare with and without the www when we do this check. Okay, so you can do this check probably within Spamzilla. You can do it in any of those kind of platforms like Majestic or Moz, etc. I like to use Setworks because it gives me multiple options in here that I can see. And what I've done is I've already set this up here. I've actually done another video on this, but I kind of paused the video and continued talking later, and that wasn't recorded, so I'm coming back again. And the reason I'm telling you that is in case I had actually recorded it and I'm saying it again anyway. Just cover it quickly, just in case. So here, what you can see is the difference. Like if I put in the www here, you can see the difference is page authority is way down. The backlinks are still the same, but the trust flow, etc. for Majestic information is completely different. Okay, with the www, it's got a trust flow of 0. Here it's got a trust flow of 8. Citation flow 21, citation flow 5 over here. So we know for a fact that this one was being used previously without the www. Okay, in this instance, for my domain, I know that the www is better metric, so I'm going to stick with that for this one. Okay, so all we do is we add in our domain name, choose our template here, marketing agency site, and make sure you got your license there for your one domain license for your marketing agency site. With that license you can only deploy this, only this. Okay, it's the only thing that will let you deploy. And assuming that you have got your DigitalOcean account, you've added your API key inside the member area for WordPress Alpha, which we'll give you a link to. You can get the step-by-step guide. I'm not going to cover that here because it would just take too long. It would make a sort of webinar length video to go through all of that kind of stuff. The guide is there, step-by-step instructions, screenshots, etc. there. Okay, choose your server location. I'm going to choose New York. Okay, choose wherever you're nearest to if you want to, or wherever you're targeting, I should say. It's up to you. And click on launch your site. Now when you click on launch your site, it's going to take a few minutes. You're going to see a little spinning sort of egg timer thing. It needs to do its work, because what it's doing then is it's deploying the website into the server. Okay, it's deploying WordPress in the server, then it's deploying this template into the server, and when it deploys the template into the server, it's also deploying these pre-configured plugins and everything else. Okay, so it does take about 3 to 4 minutes, and when that's finished, you're going to see a screen like this. Okay, so what we want to do next is we're going to click on the DNS settings. Okay, so I had already done this before. Okay, you click on launch your site, you get a spinning egg timer. When the spinning egg timer is finished about 2 or 3 minutes later, it will look like this. Okay, so we can see all the information. So we want to set the DNS. Come over here, and we've got a couple of options. Okay, depending on what APIs you have included. Let me just close that Setworks. Okay, now I can choose Namecheap because that's where this is registered. Okay, and I've got my API, or I can choose Cloudflare if I want to put it behind Cloudflare. For the purpose of demonstration, I'm going to choose Namecheap. Okay, I'm going to click on Submit. If you choose Cloudflare, it's going to give you a couple of DNS that you need to put into Namecheap manually. Okay, and if you've already added your Namecheap API, you just need to click that one time and it's been successfully added. And now all we need to do is wait for this to propagate. So the DNS settings that we give you for Cloudflare, it would be like DNS24.cloudflare or something like that. You would go into the Namecheap or GoDaddy, and you would just manually add that DNS into the manual DNS settings. Okay. So now that we have done that, I need to wait for this to propagate. I can click on this. I don't think it's going to have done it right now. I think we need to wait. But sometimes it can be very fast. Yeah, it's there. there already. So you can see we've deployed our website. Okay, so we've got adsmania.org, my marketing agency services. Okay, it's actually a good name for this because it is, it's got a lot of advertising kind of services in here. Okay, so that's my site is in here. Okay, now what I can do is I can go into the WP admin. To go into the WP admin, I'm going to copy the password here. We will make this automatic one click, but right now it's not. Okay, take the name of the domain, which is usually what we use for the username. Okay, click on remember me and I'll click on login. Give it a second. Okay, so in 2 clicks basically we have deployed our site. Okay, you can see we've got one plugin to be updated. Now click to add that into LastPass so we remember it. You can get in there next time easy. If I click on the plugins, you will see that we have got all-in-one SEO pack. I've used that because it's easier for a lot of people. Okay, if you want your settings, we can give you the your settings as well. Okay, you can see there's a whole bunch of different plugins in here. Slim Stat Analytics will give you the GDPR and some settings for that. Smash will give you some image settings. Social Warfare will give you some nice social sharing buttons and other stuff, some analytics and stuff like that as well. If you want to use Sumo Me, which I recommend that you do, it's a free plugin. You can do those full page splash screens and put an offer there when somebody comes in your site. That's a good way to use that as a free plugin. It's a very high converting opt-in form or call to action when you've got that full page splash screen because it's interruption. Okay. Let's see what else we've got in here. Double free total cache, that should actually be activated. Just click on that to activate it. I've added in here WordPress RSS plugin, one of mine. The YouTube settings here, that's already done for you as well. Okay, you can see there's a whole bunch of stuff. AMP, this is just a basic one. If you want to use a more professional one, you can. I put this together thinking about, you know, there's different levels of experience. Somebody who's more experienced with the AMP kind of stuff, you will know this accelerated mobile pages. You will probably know how to set up a more advanced version of that plugin. It's up to you really. Backlink saver, so if you're using expired domain, broken link checker, etc, etc. Okay, so this is quite nicely done. Now what you want to do first is you want to set up your customization for your site. So you would just go into the actual settings for your pages. Okay, so what you would want to do is go into, actually don't go into Elementor. What you do is you go into your pages, you scroll down and you can see all the different pages that's already been set up for you. Okay, you can see how much time this is saving. There's a lot of work being put in here for you already, really a lot of work. Okay, I know for a fact this can take weeks to put together if you don't have, you know, the information ready that you want to add. This is such a time saver, and it's a good website, and it's all pre-configured for you. Okay, so what you want to do is go to the home, and we start with the home, and you click on edit with Elementor. Now I've just opened this in a new tab over here, and you can see it's very, very easy that we can go in here and we can click on this, and it's going to give us options that we can go and edit different parts of text and stuff like that as well. So here, if you click on the slider, you can see the items over here. You can add a new item for slider, and when you come down a little bit, you can see these different elements in here that you can go and change the text. Okay, you can click in there, the text over here that you can edit, etc, etc, and you can just go down the page and see if there's anything that you want to edit. Most of this I would actually keep the same. If you haven't got a team, you can just keep that just the way it is. It's entirely up to you. If you want to change any of the text, you just come in here and you choose what you want to change. Okay, and you can go on the left side over here and change any of that. Okay, let's scroll down a little bit more. again, same thing. On the left side you can edit. If you never used it before, like me, then it's going to take up a few minutes to figure out what you're doing and how to work with it, but it's not going to be that hard to do. And you can put in the different informations. I do encourage you to join that Facebook group with Ruben and other customers in there, because they'll be able to help you with anything that you need. So everything is set up. This is a nice little setup. This is a major time saver, guys. Really major time saver. I know from experience that trying to put a site like this together, if you haven't got it all thought out and stuff like that, can be a real pain in the neck. That's saving you a lot of work. That would save me actually weeks, months of work, playing around, trying to fix buttons, trying to do different things with different sort of page builders and stuff like that. Everything's just there.